Dang! Come on, Catherine. Oh my God, Catherine, not the cat. Catherine, not the cat.
Okay, but do you guys want to hear?
Catherine! Kitty!
Do you want to hear a history joke?
Sure.
Why was World War I so fast?
Why?
Because they were Russian.
Oh my God. I have a World War II joke. Okay. Why was World War II so slow? Because they were stalling.
Do you want to hear a Civil War joke?
Sure. Civil War jokes? I generally don't find them funny. Generally! She doesn't get it. What? Okay. All right.
What if we forget these history jokes in the future?
What if we were to forget history itself? What if we were to forget our history?
Our heritage!
We gotta make a video. Video now. I think I can do this.
How do you work cameras again?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, this isn't a time machine?
What is this thing?
Smart.
This is a camera.
Okay, move. I think I can see something.
Can you see us?
Is it on?
Is it on?
It might be.
Are you sure?
It has a red dot. Does that mean it stopped?
Just let's go. Let's just
Okay,
make
let's
it.
come on.
We can redo this if it fails. Okay.
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 Okay, let's do this. Okay.
Okay. Ali, Ayesha, and Katherine's heritage video.
Woo! Woohoo! Take one.
Okay.
Take
Well, wait. What is history? What are we gonna talk about?
Where do we start from?
What's the farthest you can remember? Anyone?
World War II.
Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs.
Up your history.
Okay.
World War II.
Okay.
So you know, like at this time, you know, like so you know how like the British were taking over India, right?
Yeah.
They took over India and they've like colonized India and all that, and then there's World War II, right? So the Indians have to fight for British, right? Well, so my great grandfather, right? He was like a doctor. He was like a doctor, and he like helped the people out who like got injured, you know. So he would like actually helped people. My great grandfather, yeah. It was so cool.
My grandfather, not my great-great-grandfather,
Okay.
but my grandfather during World War II in China, he and his family were on the run from Japan because, you know, Japan was invading China,
Yeah,
away
of
from
course.
Nanjing and
Everyone knows
stuff.
that.
I mean, they weren't in Nanjing, but they were running from Japanese, and like they were running down this river, but like the Japanese troops were using this river as a trail because they were going down the same way. So like when my grandfather's family would get to a village, they'd stay. 2 days later, Japanese troops come, kill everyone. So they keep moving, and it's just like.
Oh my.
The farthest I can remember back was my great grandfather. He fought in the Korean War.
The Korean War.
Yeah, I think he was a naval officer. Probably.
Oh, that's so cool. Like
Yeah.
pew pew and all.
No, more like drive me the shippy.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Well, anyone else have any other stories?
Well, I had another war one, like during the Cold War-ish.
cool.
The Vietnam War. Well, none of my parents actually fought in that, but both my grandparents were almost fought in it, except that one got into a car accident before he could be drafted,
Oh my.
and the other one, well, he kind of was too big for the uniform.
That's hilarious.
He's like this tall.
Oh my. Oh,
Wow.
I thought you meant too big.
What else was that? I just was nice.
Oh.
Well, my family, I don't know, I remember in China during the Cold War, they had this thing called the Communist Party, Mao Zedong, and they had like, Mao Zedong had this cultural revolution, cultural revolution, and like,
That was the cultural.
my grandpa, like, the cultural revolution, he like, you know, went after like intellectuals and,
Yeah.
so my grandpa was a professor, so he
Oh,
got
God, not even bad.
Oh my.
and my grandma was a middle school teacher.
Oh.
My grandpa was put in one of those gulags, and he was separated from my grandma for 10 years.
Love must be strong.
And then my parents were like students during that time, which is like, you know, Red Guard, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, like they never joined the Red Guard, but like the Tiananmen Square massacre thing, they were in college during that time. And,
my
you know, college
goodness.
students were in that whole thing. And they weren't in Tiananmen, they weren't in Beijing at the time, but like their own city place had their own like protests and stuff, and yeah.
Well, you know, like the decolonization period, you know, everybody knows about, you know, like Mahatma Gandhi, right? Mahatma Gandhi. So what was so cool was that my great grandfather and my great grandma, you know, they were like supporters of Mahatma Gandhi because they had like Muslim friends, and they really wanted to like be friends with them and allow them to be friends with them if they couldn't, you know, because it was very like separate, like they really separated the Muslim and the Indians, but you know, so but they were very supportive of Mahatma Gandhi during that time. It was so cool, and my grandma and my grandpa, they tell me stories about that all the time. I mean, they tell me it was really, really tragic because, you know, when Mahatma Gandhi was killed by one of their own people, it was so sad. And my grandfather and my great grandfather and my great grandmother were actually there to witness that.
Really?
Yeah, it was so sad.
Oh my.
I know.
Well, after that, my history is interesting. Both my grandparents were like into manual labor, like construction jobs, and mill working.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, how does this like connect? I mean, our heritage is so different. How did
I think I have a way. Well, let's see. We all came down here somehow, right?
That's true. We
Wait,
must
we
have.
can talk about that. Okay, so basically,
Okay.
my mom, she traveled all over the country because
Uh-huh.
her dad was a construction worker and he moved to where the job was.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Oh well, that's same with my dad. Except my dad, his dad was actually one of the chief police people and one of the chief police. So they moved all over India.
Oh, yeah?
So almost every year he was at a different school, and he found it really hard to make friends. So he found friends in his studies, and he was super smart and started barging into his sister's classes. It was so funny.
Well, my parents, they also went wherever they could get a job. Like, they just wanted to get out of China
Right,
after
yeah.
the Communist Party and all that. So, well, they were college students. So when they came here, my mom took whatever major she could get a scholarship in. And it was some bizarre women's connections study. So
Oh, wow.
no one knows. Okay, so like when she went to find a job, there was no job for that. But it was right at the time of like the IT revolution with like
Oh,
computers
wow.
and
Yeah.
rooms and blah blah blah.
That's so
So
cool.
yeah, so then when my dad came over, she came a year before my dad. So he went straight into like computer engineering, and like he got a job really quick. And then so she was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to college and learn computer management something again. And then like and then they moved here because my dad's job moved here. So
Well,
yeah, moving.
My dad, who basically was the one who brought us to Arizona, well, his dad was basically a mill worker, and basically it was like a lot of hard work. And I mean, that's basically what made him go into college and get a good job. He chose to go to a computer science simply because he liked hacking.
So where does he work now?
He works at Intel.
My daddy works at Intel.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you know, he was like super smart and stuff at that time. He was like smarter than his sisters, you know? So he thought it was so super cool to look at the computers and stuff. He loved doing that stuff. So he got a job, went to college and got a degree in like computer engineering and stuff. And then he came to California because my mom was trying to.
That's kind of funny because my dad moved out of Maine to Oregon.
Oh, that's so cool. And then when my dad was in California, my mom was at Texas trying to start her own job, trying to start her own business as a doctor. And so my dad decided it would just be easier because he goes to Arizona so much for his job. He just moved to the Intel in Arizona, and my mom started her business in Arizona. So my dad is an Intel too.
Nice.
Wow, that's exactly how my parents, well not exactly, but my dad came to Arizona for his job, and my mom and me and my brother went at Texas, but then like we moved here because my dad and like
That's so